Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Talking Horses. Andy Serling in the clubhouse studio. Anthony Stabile to my left be joining us in just a moment. We kick off the week, Thanksgiving week, and a happy, of course, holiday week to everybody. 9-race card today. Off the turf in races 4 and 9. We are on the turf for race 6 and 7. Turf listed as yielding. Did have a lot of rain on Sunday, and this time of the year, even though it's warm out, it's going to be around 60 today, it doesn't dry like it does during the summer. Anyhow, head over to Naira Bets. You're not a member of Naira Bets, no better time than the present. Bet 200, get 200. New member bonus. Use the promo code, and just think of my man, Anthony Stabile, Big A. Also, there's a 2 million point hit and split late before at Churchill on Wednesday. Churchill closing out their 2019 action this week. A lot of good stuff there, too. Actually, the Clark on Friday, and stakes throughout the weekend. Tis the Law, supposed to run there on Saturday. I'm still annoyed with Barclay Tagg for not running the Remsen, but I've gotten past it. I've not gotten past you. How are you?
It's hard to get past me.
No, it's not easy.
Many have tried.
You good? You ready?
Few have succeeded.
You ready
yes.
to roll? 9
ready
races?
to roll. Start the holiday week off the right way.
Race number 1. Thought there were first-time starters and 3 horses you could look at, the 2, 3, and 8. You have taken the 3 Hostile Witness, and I flip-flopped the picks with you.
Yeah. I thought these were the 2 horses. Went to Hostile Witness. You know, Rudy keeps dropping him and finds the spot. I didn't love his trip from, say, the 7/16 home last time. Looked like he got...
that was turf.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, he looked like he just... I wouldn't worry too much about... it looked like he just stopped
Who's riding
late.
him?
I wouldn't... That would be Raylu Gutierrez.
Okay.
And I'm hoping Raylu, who... has done well since his return. Just gets aggressive with this horse today. He showed some speed.
He has 1 win. And I like Ray
Yeah.
a lot, personally. And I think he's a good rider. But he has 1 win, so let's not get carried
He's
away.
riding.
He has 1 win since his return.
Okay, but you don't necessarily have to measure everything by wins. He's just getting his groove back.
Some things you measure by wins. You say he's done well, and I just want to point out, in your world, 1 win is doing well.
He's riding
I know
well.
he likes Game of Thrones, and you
Loves
guys are
Game of
pals.
Thrones.
But he has 1 win.
Everybody got deked out by that tweet yesterday.
I like Raylu as well, and this horse can obviously win. He's just got the 1 dirt race, and he ran against Gozilla. The problem is that has been, even though Gozilla is supposed to be a good horse, that's been a major negative key race. I don't have any confidence in the 8 Uncle Ned. I put him on top. Of course, he's got to be a Wedding Crashers horse. A couple of those, right?
He's not, actually.
Oh, there is an Uncle Ned?
There's an Uncle Ned.
My brother's
Uncle Ned also could have been Family Ties. That was Tom Hanks' character
My
on Family
brother's name
Ties.
is Ned.
Oh, that's right. Uncle Ned from Wedding Crashers. That's good. Aunt Liz's son. Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
My brother's name is Ned. Well, sort of. Anyhow, I don't know. Christoph's trying this move. Okay, with the maiden special weight to maiden claimer drop downs. Not great when he's in these, he's got good numbers in the dirt. The scheduled dirt races are not great. I just took this one. I think otherwise you're taking the 2, Bobby from the Palm, who was claimed from Rudy Rodriguez by George Weaver's barn. And George has been a little chilly this year. He's not having those George Weaver type numbers.
Gone 3 months, got to go 5.5 to a mile. Yeah, there's not a lot to like that.
This is a horse, his replay is worth watching because he ran a lot better than it looks. He broke a length and a half slow. He was wide. He actually got very close to the lead. I don't know about a mile, but I think the Bobby from the Palm is a lot better than he looks. You have first-time starters, Danny Gargan. Who's riding the 4? Somebody else is riding the 4, not Correa, right?
Oh, I thought there was not a rider change.
I thought a friend of mine said there was. Maybe I'm wrong.
I didn't see that.
Maybe I'm wrong about this.
Just Raylu. Johnny I just announced Raylu on the 3.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that there was something different. Maybe it was different. Declan Carroll is on that horse, I think.
Okay.
I think Declan Carroll is probably in the program, actually. I don't know. We'll see. And the Bill Mott first-time starter, neither of whom did a lot for me, but I'm not big on first-time. It's Declan Carroll, yeah. It's not.
Okay.
It's not Correa.
Okay. I mean, if you put my gun to my head and tell me to take a first, or I would take Danny's first.
Yeah, I'd probably take Icy Dude. Both of them have to try to go a mile first time out. Race number 2. Take a look at the stretch run with State Farm and Princess Victoria last time out. And there's no doubt that State Farm did not run well in this race. But State Farm is the number 4. And I think it's important to note that State Farm ate a lot of dirt in this race. And this was at a time when horses were not running through the kickback in any manner. And even though she was finishing on the outside, she spent the first 3 quarters of the race eating kickback. And I have to think that took an effect on her. I don't love her performance. And I don't trust this horse, and I'm not running the window to take a short price on her. But in this race, I'm not taking anybody else.
This was my week off, and you stressed that to me a lot, how these horses, how it was so hard to not only make up some ground on certain days, but the kickback was the real part of it. You're 1,000% right. It was really, really tough. And I think, look, I'm not as much worried about the fact that she didn't run that well last time. It's now 2 races since the beginning of February with a 5-month break and a 3.5-month break.
And
That's
dropping down
obvious.
significantly for a trainer who has mediocre numbers dropping.
But now she's coming back in 2 weeks. And maybe it is a hands up and saying, you know what, here she is for 10,000, have at it. It also could be Linda dropping her to win here. I think that's the case. I don't want to eat a short price, but I didn't have any real confidence in the rest of them.
I agree. I don't think Princess Victoria is really very good. She was with the track last time out.
That's Raylu as well, by the way.
Thank you. And Theodosia, who a lot of people I know, Mike Beer likes this horse, I think, and David picked this horse. I think you got to take a careful look at this horse's dirt races overall before you jump on Theodosia in a dirt race, because her dirt races are bad.
And don't you got to worry that she's eligible for a 3 life, and she's running against fillies that have won? You know what I mean? I think you got to worry about that here.
In this field, I'm not that worried about it. I'm not. She does have that 160 buyer at Saratoga, but I don't know. It was a 4-horse field, and overall, she is really not a dirt horse. Really not a dirt horse.
That was a year and a half ago, too. That wasn't even this meet,
Well, it was Magnus Magnum, who David Donk should have gotten some sort of award for the number of off-the-turf races that he did, one with her, including a stake race. Not much else to go on in race number 2. Race number 3, I was very impressed with this horse, and I don't want to jump on a chalk, she takes charge. But if she runs back to her last race, and I'll tell you something, this was a track that was overall fair, but it certainly wasn't playing towards horses making big runs. It wasn't a fast pace. And she just made a big run and ran by the field. She's got to stretch out to a mile. She's got to run back to that race. But this is a horse that David Argona has pointed out many times, that her debut with a 59 buyer, that buyer is probably closer to 80. That a lot of horses have run significantly better, and that's just an odd race that should be faster. And no speed figure has it high. It's just come back to be a faster race. She runs back this race, she's going to win.
I mean, did you see her finishing up there?
She's a joke. That race was a joke.
That was a 9-month layoff.
This is a horse that actually has the potential to move forward and be a stakes quality type horse if she can keep moving forward and stay sound. That was a very impressive performance. She's not going to be 6 to 5. She's going to be 3 to 5.
3 to 5. Now, we didn't see her for 9 months after the stretch out from the 6.5 to the mile back in the winter. That worry you that the miles seem to, or do you just say to yourself, well, she's been gone for 9 months?
Something went wrong last
Okay. I agree. I mean, I agree with you.
I'm not running the window to take her a short price, but I've had enough of Cartwheel, who, I mean, she's okay, but I've just sort of had enough of her. And I mean, I think Wait a Minute is a little bit dangerous in here, because Wait a Minute is the speed. I don't think that either the 4 or 6 could be that far behind her, but Wait a Minute's got some decent races. I thought Wait a Minute was the major threat to this horse.
Okay. I thought, for a little bit of a price stretching back out, I thought maybe Riot Worthy could get a piece of the pie in here. I might make a backup 6-5 here, trying to get her second and maybe the biggest number on the board.
She's all yours.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. Since she came back from the long break, she's been a shell of what she was, but she's getting back to the stretch out, and maybe if there's a little, she gets a little pace to run at in here, and she takes charge, runs away from them like she did last time, maybe she could pick up the pieces for second.
A couple of people told me they've been impressed with Louis Rodriguez Castro's riding. You were one of them, actually.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's a good rider.
Yeah.
David Grace doing a good job with him, getting him on some live horses.
Yeah, could have a decent winter here. Yeah. All right. Race number 4. This one is off the turf.
Yeah.
You'll have to explain to me how you have Plebe second and Clear the Ramp third. How is Clear the Ramp not clearly the horse to beat?
I'm
what?
not saying he's not. I don't trust him at a short price. And he's going to be a short price.
Who's riding him? No, he's not.
That would be Jose Ortiz.
Okay. I think the 7's going to be the favorite. Why should the 7 be a dirt horse?
Oh, no. Clear the Ramp would be the favorite.
They can't get away from speed.
You think so?
Can't get away from it. Can't get away from it. This horse will be favored. Can't get away from horses like this.
Well, to be honest with you, that's why I took Hudson Overpass. I just want the horse that's going to be in front of me here, and it'll be him. And I don't know if he can dirt or not. He's found that he couldn't have picked 6 rivals to find out against.
I don't agree with you at all.
Really?
Yeah, I actually think that Clear the Ramp is a better dirt horse than turf horse. And she's
I don't think I
actually
disagree with that. I just don't know how good he is, period.
Well, I think he was a major threat to win this race in the turf. You and I saw this race completely differently. I think that Leclerc Ramp is so much the horse to be in this race that it's not even funny. Now, I don't have a problem with putting him second. How do you have a horse plebe that, honestly, have you watched his races recently?
Yeah, he's been terrible.
Yeah, I don't know how you can bet a horse that's run the way this
Well,
horse
I'm just looking. I don't want the dirt horses, and I took the 2 horses that have never run on it. That's what I did, frankly.
There's a handicapping angle. Don't take the horses that can handle
Hold on
the
a second. Hold on a second. You and I disagree. Clear the Ramp. I'm pretty confident Clear the Ramp's going to be 8-5 in this race.
Okay, I think he should be 3-5 in here.
Well, then you're getting value at 8-5.
Yeah, I think he so overlays this field, it's ridiculous. Doesn't mean he has to win, but he overlays this field. Overlays them. It's not even close. I mean, yes, is it possible that Hudson Overpass will be a dirt horse? I suppose, but why has this trainer kept running him and entering him in nothing but turf races?
That I don't have an answer for.
Yeah, I mean, Clear the Ramp. Clear the Ramp against Bassman Dave and Freaky Styley and Le General. I mean, and didn't run badly in these races. We're just going to have to agree to disagree.
Yeah.
I think it's insane not having that horse at least second here. I thought No More Miracles was the only one that did run okay, at least in one of his dirt races. I don't know if he can run, but I would use him. I thought Hudson. See, I see this completely differently. I think the 7 is the reason you play this race, because the 7 is going to take a lot of money based on turf form and speed and a bad opinion. And I think that's the horse that you're supposed to bet against. I'm not saying he can't win, because I suppose it's not impossible and he could wire the field. But the horse that's going to be the underlay is Hudson Overpass, in my opinion.
Okay. I see it the other way. I think Clear the Ramp's going to be
And
shorter
Plebe?
than him.
Before you bet that horse, just take a careful look, actually, at both of his last 2 races. Race number 5 kicks off the late pick 5. It also ends the early pick 4 and the early pick 5 as well. Thought this was a very, very tricky race. Now, he's got Miss Jack, and we'll take a look at Miss Jack's last race, as a heavy favorite in this race. Is she really going to be a heavy favorite off this win and claim by Linda?
I believe she's going to be because of what you just said. This is a claim by Linda. Now, I know she took the horse from Claudio.
It's a much tougher field.
I know she took the horse from Claudio Gonzalez.
But this was a terrible field that she beat last time.
Well, she's running against 2 of them in here.
Well, Honey Graham is at best a fringe player, and the other one isn't a player in here at all. Gypsy Janie. Or do you have her pick somewhere?
No, I would agree with that. But I think if you look closely at this bunch, you don't want Mike B anymore, right? I mean, you got a
Well,
4.
I don't know. We'll get to her in a minute. I'm not going to be shocked when Mike B wins this race.
I don't want Mike B anymore. I don't want Gypsy Janie. Truth be told, Mo Flash's races, I don't know where
I'm
Mo
not Mo
Flash
Flash's
went.
biggest fan. She seemed to be an in-and-outer at best. She does have back races that are good, though. She does.
And she's 5 for 8 here. So I guess you could make the case, but I really don't want her. I feel like she was on that little run earlier this year, and that kind of
her form
she's
has
tailed
dissipated
off
a bit
since,
lately.
right? Orchid Party, the blinkers
Last time
woke
was
her
the
up,
time
but
for
last
her.
time was the time, right? So
Well, she was with the track last time.
it leaves you with the 3 horses that we have, and I mean, like you said, do you think Honey Graham is a peripheral player at best? I put her second.
I don't have a problem that Miss Jack's the horse to beat in here. I wouldn't take 6-5 on her. I picked her second. Obviously, I think that she's a major player in here. Contrary to the belief of some crazy people, I actually think the horse I picked second and third have a chance to win races, sometimes even 4th. Though I also don't take credit for my 4th pick. I don't take credit for any of them winning, but whatever. I thought Science Fiction was the interesting horse in here. It's her 3rd off a layoff. She has not been as good, but she had no chance in that race last time at Laurel. I'm not going to knock her. I mean, the horse who was in front was up forward, was actually okay. The horse who won, horse who was second and third came from well back in the race, so she sort of helped set it up. She's got dirt race here last winter that would make her very tough in here, and I thought she was very dangerous getting into this level. Now, I'm not saying she's going to get to that form last year. That was when Rob was on a big juggernaut last year, Rob Atras, her trainer, but I think she's very, very possible.
I'm curious to see how this shakes out early. Because she was able to control some moderate paces. I think Honey Graham might just be a little faster than her early on, and I think Science Fiction's probably better when she's on the lead. which bothers me a little because I don't think. I also think Honeygram's better when she's on the lead, and I think Honeygram is a smidge faster. And if that's the case, she should have a tactical advantage over her, taking her out of her game. And I think Miss Jack's going to be tough today.
I think
like
the horse that
said,
you're discounting is Might Be. Might Be was in a ridiculous spot last time. And the time before that, she shouldn't have been 2-1. She was trying to chase Radzikowski. She's got a race back at Finger Lakes in August that makes her a player, finishing second, beaten ahead to No Hain, No Gain. And I think you're just routinely dismissing her. And I think that's
you don't think she's better going a little longer? You don't think 6 furlongs is?
I don't worry about distance. You worry about these distances. I think shorter is always better. In most cases, it's better. I like horses that cut back in distance. I've made a lot of money cutting back. This is a horse who's run well at 6 furlongs in the past. Her form's a bit questionable, but I think to just completely dismiss Might Be is very dangerous here.
Okay.
I think she can absolutely get at least a piece of this race. Race number 6. So there's a lot going on in this race, and you pick Crazy Life. And Implied Volatility second. Wow. Go ahead. Have at it. Then I'll discuss what's actually going on in the race. Crazy Life? You want a Chad Brown horse that's had her share of chances?
I don't know what you want me to do.
His share of chances? Well, I want you to pick some of the horses that can win. You don't have the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you have the 6, 4th.
Crazy Life can't win.
No, he could win. He has a chance. But as an overbet Chad Brown horse, I think this is the kind of horse you're supposed to be betting against. I don't think there's anything special about him whatsoever. I think there's far more interesting races. Can he win? Yeah. You could get 480 on him if you want. Go have at it. Why Implied Volatility?
I thought he improved last time when he stretched out and he added the blinkers. He's going to get back to the turf. But I also think the
rail was good.
You have an answer for everything today, huh? The nice little 3-day
Well, I actually did the work on the races, so I have plenty to say about them. I actually went through and looked at these horses. All right, you and I are on completely different plans here.
Completely.
I'll be shocked if Implied Volatility wins. I won't be shocked if Crazy Life wins, but I think he's a tremendous underlay. Let's take a look at the entire race last time that Jimmy Jazz was in. And he has been rained off at least once since that race. While Clickatat will run second here, and this is 2 back for him, Jimmy Jazz we have to watch. Okay, he breaks okay here. And he's going to end up getting steadied back and shuffled back very badly in this race, and he'll end up losing. Now he's kind of running up with Joel because what happens as usual, they're slowing the pace down. So then, he's going to, we don't need the circles, they're fine. He's going to get shuffled completely and totally out of the race. You can see there. And it gets even worse, which is why I'm going to show the whole race. And keep in mind, they were crawling in this race. It's a very, very moderate pace. And he's actually going to end up in last here. And it's a miracle that he made as big a run as he did in here, finishing 4th, beaten just 3 lengths in a paceless race and losing position. To me, Jimmy Jazz just makes an enormous amount of sense, and I think he's actually the horse to beat in here.
Okay.
It gets worse from here.
This wasn't a great. This was a brutal. I mean, the word's overused, but this was a brutal trip for Jimmy Jazz.
Well, yeah, it didn't really affect you because you've got him 4th in this race. I mean, and you've got him well behind a horse who I finished 2 lengths in front of him, had the run of the race basically. I don't know how Jimmy Jazz is not considered a major player in here. What would be your reason for not having him in one of the top 2 positions?
I don't like the fact that he's prone to things like this because he has 0 early speed. And if you're going to find trouble like this over at Belmont Park, you're going to be in trouble on courses like... No, what I'm saying is this. I'm saying is when you...
He got beat in the neck by Great on the Curve.
Andy, he has no speed. I don't want these horses that have had 8, 9 chances that have no speed that just get shuffled out of races.
So you've left out Kingfish, the 4. Linda Rice, the second time starter.
I probably messed up. I probably should have put Kingfish 3rd.
How do you not have Kingfish for
I
Linda?
Probably should have put
out.
Kingfish 3rd.
Second time, we have a stat. Second time starters, first time in the grass for Linda, 7 for 28, 254 ROI. I mean, how do you have that horse? That horse to me has to be a major player.
Yeah, I
do think Crazy Life can win, but I think that both Kingfish and Jimmy Jazz are much more interesting plays at much better prices.
You don't see.
Implied Volatility wins this race. Literally, I should go home with a bag over my head.
He's not 3. I mean, he's going to be 3 in front in here. He's going to be gone in here.
So what?
I don't know if you could just say so what on a bunch of horses.
Really? So you figure that course with the rails out and rain is really heavily carrying home bad horses in the front?
No, but it's going to give him an advantage over horses that have had some chances already.
Why? Do you have a study on loose speed and turf races?
Because he's going to be in front of horses that don't win.
Anthony, I think he's hopeless. We just completely disagree. I think he's absolutely hopeless. And I don't think the fact.
I mean,
he's
I
going
probably slept
front
Kingfish a little bit,
makes
but to
no
think
sense.
he's hopeless?
I think he's hopeless. Yeah, I think he's virtually hopeless in here. I think he's got a horse that helps take out the takeout. I don't see it. I don't like his first race, and I don't see how he's competitive. But we disagree. Race number 7. Well, Chimney Rock's apparently running in a Louisiana-bred race down in Fairgrounds.
Wow.
Dave Grenig, who's back, brief hiatus reported, so he's not playing. And you have Big Package on, who Dave Donk had said to Maggie he wanted to get back on the dirt. He surprised Dave, but he didn't surprise somebody because he went from 7-1 to 4-1 last flash last time.
Yeah, that was amazing that day. Remember that? That was nuts. I don't think I've ever seen that kind of money taken that late in like some.
I've seen that kind of money taken
No,
routinely.
just like this in a major
That was
special
very
way,
that was
you know what I
very
mean?
strange because it wasn't really reflected in the multi-race bets.
No.
It came out of nowhere, and somebody knew he was going to win, and he did. He beat Turbo Drive, came back with a big win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to use a bunch of horses.
I didn't love
here.
him, but
I want to use a bunch of horses in here. When if Chimney Rock runs, you're going to be leaning heavily on Chimney Rock, and now Chimney Rock's out.
No, I wasn't.
No?
I picked him second, yeah. Oh. No, I don't think he was a huge favorite to win this race. I don't think he had a huge advantage in this field. I think there's some runners in here. I'm interested to see what I Sir does for Wesley Ward. I'm always scared of him. I think Turn Aside's a player. I mean, don't forget, Turn Aside last time chased 2 wide against a super strong rail, and he was off of the rail the entire running last time. I think Turn Aside probably the horse to beat in this race, personally. And keep in mind, Turbo Drive's going to be too short a price because they're always misbetting the wrong half of the entry in these situations when a heavily favored other half comes out. And that's going to help. I like Maxwell Esquire. I got a stat for Christophe Clement. We've talked about this before. Turning back specifically to 6 furlongs, Christophe has very good numbers, and I thought Maxwell Esquire might be kind of an interesting horse cutting back for him.
Yeah.
Pedigree suggests the distance should be okay. And I thought this was a horse that actually has some talent. He's run well enough in his races, and I thought he was a little sneaky in here, and he'd be in the 4-1 range, 9-2.
He's got to be used. No question about it. I think he has to be
used.
I
think the Big Package can win. I could have had him higher. Turbo Drive improved a lot last time, but Turbo Drive did lose to Big Package. I know David liked Mo Reddy. I didn't get Mo Reddy in here.
I got him 4th. I might use him. He's a big I didn't see them. That's a big morning line.
Well, no. The morning line is screwed up because
I
of
think
Chimney
it's a
Rock.
big. No. I think it's a big morning line.
But the actual morning line
regardless of
is
Chimney Rock being guy. I don't think he should be that high.
I don't disagree. I don't know how he's 12-1 versus 8-1 in the 2, but I'm not going to nitpick David's lines. He's usually pretty accurate, but I agree. Even with the scratch and the whole thing, I don't think he'll be more than 5-1. I just wasn't impressed with his first race, even though he beat a horse that I picked. But I think my horse is more interesting. Race number 8 was a complete fall apart. I don't know what happened, but I mean, I understand that My Roxy Girl, who ran on Sunday, I'm not surprised she came out of this race, but she ran on Sunday or Saturday? Actually ran on Friday. She ran on Friday.
Yes.
Because by the time they got Formulator out, her actual running line was in there. She did not run well at 4-5, overbet 4-5. Trial and Error came out as well.
Yeah.
Mrs. Orb. We'll show you Mrs. Orb's last race. She's gotten good. You were on her 2 back.
On her 2 back. Jumped off last time, unfortunately. Back aboard today. I want to use 3s and 5s. This is, this is a good example of a filly. She takes that 6-month break from January to July, and when she goes to the bench, no offense, but she's kind of ordinary when she goes to the bench. And I'm not saying she's the next coming of Ruffian now, but she's come back, and regardless of surface, there's the one bad race in the A other than. Her other 4 races, she has just consistently gotten better and better. She's won on both surfaces, now 2 in a row on the dirt. The short field, I think,
she's gotten better in her last 2 starts.
Yeah. That's what I'm just saying. She's shown improvement. You take the A of the N out, she's shown improvement since the break.
Big year for Mike Maselli.
Yeah, and the 2 dirt races have been much better than the dirt races, but she's shown improvement the whole time. And the problem with her is, again, I know she was kind of pocketed up. She was in a good spot 2 starts back. These short fields, you just worry
my
about.
problem with her, she's going to be 4-5, and you missed the boat at 7-1 and 11-1. That's my problem, but obviously. Now, I actually think Foolish Living ran fine last time, because first of all, she was on a pace that fell apart, and that always matters to me. And she ran against just better horses, smooth with a kick and off topic, and I think she's in a good stalking position outside. She might actually now, on the dirt, she seemed to show more speed. That's one of the things I liked about her. I thought she's actually showed more speed in her 1 dirt race as opposed to her turf races, which She seemed to like the dirt, and I just thought she was logical. It's her, Mrs. Orb, and the other ones are a little tough to make. I mean, Flash and Dynamite has some speed, but I don't know how you make that horse. And Distorted News does have the one good dirt race. I will say that. I mean, to be fair, the last dirt race for her was in Rudy's barn, but it was fast enough to win here, Distorted News.
Yeah.
Probably not totally impossible.
I thought it was the 3 and 5, and you.
Well, yeah, everybody's going to be a 3 and 5 in here, but I'm just pointing out that there are things. I think Distorted News is the one that's a little more dangerous and can be forward here for Bruce Brown. Race number 9 is off the turf. We only lost the first-time starter in here.
Yeah. You see these horses like Cavadosi and Duncastle. Well, we're the same
You
horses.
have the 2/3.
Yeah.
2's what, 4 to 5 in here?
Okay.
Okay. Third. You had to keep your Mike Tanizzo card? You had to pick Mikey's horse? Can we bet some lunches that Caravadossi beats Ink Spots?
What price are you going to give me?
I don't know. You like the 9 over the 2.
Well, then you like the 2 over the 9.
Yeah.
And you're telling me one of them's going to be 4 to 5 and one of them's not going to be.
She probably won't be 4 to 5, but he looks about 4 to 5 to me.
7 to 5? What do you want to give me?
I don't know.
3 to
Probably
1?
Duncastle will be favored, actually.
Want to give me 3 to 1?
Okay, I got one for you. I'll bet you Duncastle finishes ahead of Ink Spots.
Why are you putting me in a spot between Morley and Tanizzo?
You're not getting your full suck up. You sucked up enough to Morley last week that you didn't have to put this one that high. I like Mike, but Ink Spots is a little bit silly in here, right?
Why do you think Ink Spots is a little bit silly in here?
Because he's slow.
Too slow?
Yeah.
And you think an off-the-turf race that has a horse in Cavadosi who's 0 for 10.
Cavadosi came alive. Don't just say it was the turf last time.
I'm not saying that.
Of the claim.
I'm not going to say that. But you don't think he wants a little
I
bit
have to
more?
call
You don't think he
Mixito,
wants a little
actually.
more ground here? You think this horse is you don't?
I don't worry
Okay.
about that stuff at all.
Okay.
Once again, I've told you that. Why? You thought 2 back that more ground would have helped Cavaradossi? Just checking. No. So why do you like Blacktop Legend? Well, I'm surprised you picked on top.
I mean, his last
I
race.
probably would not have picked on top, but I know you were going to pick this horse on top.
Why?
Because I just would have picked a different horse. I just would have.
The last race.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure what to do with that last race. It was a terrible field. I know he stumbled and actually ran pretty well in there. I don't
Yeah.
know if I totally trust it. I picked him on top thinking he'd be a better price, but I'm not sure. I probably should have gone 2-4 in here. Not that they were the 2 horses in here. Duncastle had a slight chance. He's run okay on the dirt for different connections, but he is much better on the turf.
Want to give me 2 to 1 on both of them?
No, 36 lunches. You got to do better than that.
Got to do better than what?
Oh, you know what? Let's bet the Crazy Life race.
Okay.
I tell you what, I'll take both Linda's horse and the Jimmy horse
Click-
at even
click
money
that.
for a lunch if you give me both the 2 and 3 over the 9 for a lunch at even money.
Done.
Okay.
That's fair enough.
Okay.
That's fair enough.
Okay. Give me the pen.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. Head over to Naira Bets. If you're not a member of Naira Bets,
Calling a 5th today, by the way.
good to know. Anthony's calling the 5th, in case you didn't hear. And you know Anthony, he's big A. So
That promo code right there.
we'll match up to a $200 deposit.
Yes.
At Naira Bets, there's a 2 million point hit and split on the late pick 4, I believe.
Closing week this week at Churchill Downs. Last Wednesday, you can get involved in this 200-point hit and split over at Churchill for that late pick 4. So,
There you go. All right.
we'll give a little quick plug. We have a quick second. If you are driving in traffic tonight, or you want a little Zia Park Penn National action, you can tune into the Horse Racing Radio Network.
What time are all those stakes running?
Well, Land of Enchantment Day starts right around 3.
Land of Enchantment.
They have $1 million on the line over those stakes races
Why
down
is
at Zia
Jason
Park
Service
today.
running Frenzy Fire at
I
Penn
don't
National
know.
and not running him in the fall?
So he's
highway?
running the other horse here?
That's the impression I got from reading Dave Granick. That's what he seemed to think.
Yeah, I don't know. But you can listen to the
What time are you on?
we're on 3 to 7:30, so wrap up the big
Sirius
A right
channel,
around
what's the
4:15.
channel?
Sirius 219, or you can stream it live at horseracingradio.net.
On that note, John and Brielle up next will reprise the scratches and changes.
Hello, racing fans. Once again, welcome to Aqueduct on a cloudy Wednesday. but it's mild. The temperature in the high 50s. Main track is fast. We're on the turf today for races 6 and 7, and the turf is yielding. We have an Empire 6 jackpot carryover of more than $405,000. We'll go right to the changes now. In the first race, a rider change on number 3, Hostile Witness to Relu Gutierrez. Gutierrez on the 3. Note that number 5, King of American, is 1 pound over. Second race, scratch the 2, Banana Anna. Scratch number 2, Banana Anna. Couple of rider changes. Number 4, Princess Victoria, will be ridden by Relu Gutierrez. Gutierrez